Thank you. First of all, thanks again, Professor, for your very interesting speech, so rich in thoughts. In your introductory words, you spoke about the role of the justice. I mean, that the sort of arbiter between the phenomenon of democracy and the phenomenon of constitutionalism. My question is, what are, in your opinion, the factors which could and should guarantee the political neutrality of justice in such cases? I mean, of some sort of collision between these two phenomena. Thank you.
That's a very interesting and tough question about the neutrality of the judiciary, especially the neutrality of the Supreme Courts or constitutional courts. Because although the logic by which a Supreme Court decides cases might be legal, might be juridical, but the implications are always politics, because the Constitution, as I said before, is a means to limit politics, to institutionalize politics. Thus, the role of a constitutional court will always be forcing the frontier between politics and law. The ways you have to try to preserve courts from being contaminated by politics is by granting the judges guarantees, personal guarantees of stability, and the fact that law has its own concepts, its own limits, and professionals that work with law usually have to abide by these limits. That being said, and being a constitutional judge for over 8 years now, I can say that although we interpret the Constitution, there is a lot of personal view that you cannot avoid, because everyone has an ideology. I'm not meaning to be more left-wing or more right-wing. I mean, we all have an idea of the good, of the right, of what is legitimate. And of course, we project this in our activity, in our decisions. So, so the answer is there's no neutrality in life. I think that's the answer. That being said, though, there are proper limits that if you trespass, you're not doing law, you're doing politics. So I answer this tough question by saying there's no neutrality in judging, but there are limits in what you can do. So it's, let's imagine a canvas where you can paint. Sometimes it's a big canvas, but still the canvas is the limit. You can't go outside and paint the wall. So this is the answer I can give you, improvising. French like to say, l'art d'improviser, c'est n'improviser jamais. So a tough question like that, he should have warned me before so that I would be prepared to answer.
Thank you very much for your very, very interesting answer.